I babysat my nephew for free every weekend for a year. One day I asked my sister-in-law for help watching our dog while I traveled for work. She laughed and said, "I'm not your assistant." My wife said, "You can't expect people to owe you." That night I came home to find my dog missing. A note was taped to her crate that read, "Next time pay for a sitter. My name is Robert Bob Mitchell, and I'm 53 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon, with my wife Linda, who's 48. We've been married 12 years now. No kids of our own, but we have a golden retriever named Bella who's basically our world. We rescued her when she was 2, and she's been our shadow ever since. My younger brother Mike lives about 20 minutes away with his wife Sarah. They have a 7-year-old son named Tommy. Mike works the night shift at a FedEx warehouse, and Sarah is a registered nurse who works Friday through Sunday at Providence Hospital. Their schedules overlap most weekends, leaving them scrambling for childcare. It started innocently enough. Sarah called one Friday evening, sounding frazzled. "Bob, I hate to ask, but could you watch Tommy for a few hours? Our babysitter canceled last minute." "Sure thing," I said without hesitation. Family helps family, right? That few hours turned into the entire weekend. And then it happened again the next Friday. And the next. Before I knew it, every single weekend for the past year, Tommy was dropped off at our place Friday evening and picked up Sunday night. Not once a month, not occasionally, every single weekend. Sarah would barely walk him to the door anymore. She'd just text, "Tommy's on the porch. Thanks," smile, and drive off in her Honda Civic. Sometimes she'd change the schedule last minute, drop him off Thursday night or leave him until Monday morning. No apology, no asking if it worked for us. I never complained because Tommy's a good kid. Quiet, polite, loves Lego and talks endlessly about dinosaurs. If they were struggling with childcare costs, I figured we could help out. We never asked for money or expected anything in return. Just helping family. But Sarah never once said thank you. Never offered to reciprocate. She treated us like a free daycare service. Linda told me to speak up if it bothered me, but when I did say no once, just once, because we had anniversary plans, Sarah exploded. She called me inconsiderate and accused me of messing up their work schedules. Mike called later asking what the big deal was. "It's just one kid, Bob. You don't even have kids. You've got the time." That stung, but I let it slide. I had no idea what was coming next. 3 months ago, everything changed. I had a major business trip to Phoenix. 3 days of client meetings that could make or break my consulting contract. Linda had her own commitment, a nursing conference in Seattle the same weekend. We'd both be gone, leaving Bella alone. Bella's getting older now, and she gets anxious around other dogs. The local kennels were either booked solid or charging outrageous rates. One place wanted $120 a night. The only option was finding someone to check on her at the house. I figured I'd ask Sarah. After a year of free babysitting every weekend, surely she'd help with a simple favor. I called her Tuesday evening. "Hey Sarah, I've got a huge ask. Linda and I are both traveling this weekend. Could you swing by the house once a day to feed Bella and let her out? I'd even bring her to your place if that's easier." The response still echoes in my head. She laughed, not a polite chuckle. A full, condescending laugh that made my blood pressure spike. "I'm not your personal assistant, Bob. Don't try to dump your dog on me. Pay someone like everyone else does." I was stunned. "Sarah, I've watched Tommy every weekend for over a year. I'm asking for 3 days. She crossed her arms and smirked. "Nobody forced you to babysit. That was your choice. You volunteered." I stood there, mouth hanging open, trying to process how someone could be so ungrateful. Not even a polite, no, just complete disrespect for everything I'd done for their family. That night, I told Linda what happened. I expected support, maybe some righteous anger on my behalf. Instead, she shook her head and said, "You can't expect people to owe you favors, Bob. That's not how relationships work." My own wife basically told me I was wrong for asking. I ended up scrambling to find dog care. Everything decent was booked. Linda offered to check on Bella during her lunch breaks from the conference, which wasn't ideal but seemed like our only option. Wednesday morning, I flew to Phoenix with a knot in my stomach. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on what. By Saturday, I'd find out exactly how wrong things could go. The first day went fine. Linda texted. "Checked on Bella. She's good. Food and water topped off. Thursday. Silence. No texts, no updates. I sent a message Friday morning. How's Bella? No response. Another message Friday night. Nothing. By Saturday, panic was setting in. I called Linda twice, straight to voicemail both times. My mind raced with possibilities. Maybe she was busy with conference sessions. Maybe her phone died. But deep down, I knew something was terribly wrong. I landed Sunday night at 9:30 p.m., exhausted from 3 days of high-stakes meetings. As I pulled into our driveway, I noticed the porch light was off. That was strange. Bella always barked when she heard my Toyota Camry coming up the drive. I walked inside, dropped my bags, and called out, "Bella." Nothing. I checked her usual spots, the living room, our bedroom, the kitchen. Her water bowl was bone dry. Her food bowl was empty. The crate door was open, but she wasn't there. Then I saw it. A white sheet of paper taped to her crate door. Block letters written in black Sharpie. Next time pay for a sitter. My heart stopped. I tore through the house. Every room, the basement, the garage, the backyard. She was gone. I called Linda. Voicemail. Called Sarah. Voicemail. Finally called Mike, and he answered on the second ring. "Mike. Where's Bella?" "What do you mean?" "She's gone. There's a note on her crate." Long pause. "I don't know anything about that." "Maybe she got out?" "Dogs don't write notes, Mike." Silence. Then, "Look, I'll ask Sarah if she knows anything." That told me everything I needed to know. I hung up and sat on the kitchen floor, staring at that note. I didn't cry, but something cold and hard settled in my chest. Something that would change everything. An hour later, Linda walked through the front door. Linda took one look at me, then at the empty crate with the note still taped to it, and went pale. "I was busy with the conference," she said quietly. "I thought Sarah was going to help. I told her you'd asked." I stared at her. "You told Sarah?" "The same person who laughed in my face, that we needed help with Bella?" She didn't answer. "You left our dog alone. You forgot about her for days. She's just a dog, Bob." That's when I snapped. I stood up, grabbed a pillow and blanket from the couch, and said, "I'm sleeping in the guest room." "You're being dramatic. I don't trust you anymore, Linda." "And I mean that." I drove straight to Mike's house. Sarah opened the door like she was expecting me. "Don't even think about barging in here," she started. I walked right past her. Mike stood up from his lazy-boy recliner. "Dude, don't start something. Where is she?" They looked at each other. Then I heard it, a soft whimper from downstairs. I ran to the basement and threw open the laundry room door. Bella was huddled in the corner, shaking. Her ribs were showing. No food, no water, just a dirty towel on the concrete floor. She looked up at me with those beautiful brown eyes, tail wagging weakly. I dropped to my knees and hugged her close. "You locked her down here?" I turned to face them. Sarah shrugged. "Don't be so dramatic. We fed her." "No, you didn't. She's dehydrated and starving. She's fine." I picked up Bella and walked out, but I knew this wasn't over. They wanted to act like I was the problem? Like I was asking for too much? Fine. They were about to learn what it really meant to be used and discarded. The next morning, I called Dr. Peterson's veterinary clinic as soon as they opened. Dr. Peterson's examination confirmed my worst fears. Bella was 12 pounds underweight and severely dehydrated. She hadn't eaten in days. Her paws were raw from pacing in that tiny laundry room, and she had pressure sores on her sides from lying on concrete. "I need all of this documented," I told Dr. Peterson. "Every detail, every photo, every test result." I didn't tell Linda. I didn't tell Mike or Sarah. Instead, I built a case file. Photos of Bella from the day I found her, vet records, pictures of that basement laundry room, and that note still taped to her crate. Then I called an attorney. Not because I wanted money, but because I wanted accountability. But first, I stopped babysitting Tommy. Friday came and went. No one showed up at my house. Around 7 p.m., Sarah called. "Where are you?" "We're waiting outside." "I'm at home, and I'm not babysitting anymore." She laughed. "What?" "I'm done. Don't bring Tommy here again." "Are you serious? You're just going to leave us hanging?" "We have jobs. Mike can't miss another weekend." "Then figure it out." I hung up. Mike called 5 minutes later. "You're punishing our kid because of some argument?" "I'm setting a boundary I should have set a long time ago." "You're overreacting. I have vet records that say otherwise." That night, Linda confronted me while I was folding laundry. You're really not going to watch Tommy anymore? No. You're doing this to punish Sarah. I'm doing this to protect myself. And Bella. She crossed her arms. You're blowing this way out of proportion. Then why does it bother you so much? She didn't answer. Just walked out. Over the next 2 weeks, Mike and Sarah went nuclear on social media. They posted vague messages about some people dropping your child over petty drama, and how families should help each other. They didn't mention the dog, but I did. I posted one photo. Bella in that basement corner, with the note taped to her crate. Caption. After watching someone's child for free for over a year, I asked for a simple favor. This was the response. The comments exploded. Mutual friends started messaging, asking what happened. Even Linda's sister called. Wait, they locked Bella in a basement? That's when I made the call that would change everything. I reported Mike and Sarah to animal control for animal neglect. I gave them every document, every photo, every receipt from Dr. Peterson's office. I told them exactly where I found Bella and how long she'd been there. 3 days later, an officer called back. We're looking into this. Are you willing to press charges? Yes. Then I found something that made everything worse. Our Ring doorbell camera and the indoor security camera I'd installed facing the back door had captured everything. I went through 4 days of footage and discovered the truth that shattered what was left of my marriage. Linda never came to check on Bella. Not once. The entire 4 days I was in Phoenix, she never stepped foot in our house. She'd lied to my face. That night, I confronted her. She didn't even try to deny it. I thought Sarah would handle it, she said. She said she'd swing by. You didn't even check. Not once. I was tired. I had work. You let our dog starve in an empty house, and all you can say is you were tired? I didn't think it was a big deal. Something inside me broke clean in half. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just grabbed my pillow and blanket and said, I'm sleeping in the guest room permanently. You're being dramatic. I don't trust you anymore. Animal control called again a week later. They'd visited Mike and Sarah's house, found Bella's fur in the basement, and taken photos. They were issuing citations and fines, with possible criminal charges depending on what the prosecutor decided. I didn't care if they went to jail. I just wanted them to feel the weight of what they'd done. But that wasn't the end. A week after the citations were issued, I got a call that broke my heart. Tommy called me from Mike's phone, crying. Uncle Bob, why don't you want to see me anymore? I closed my eyes. It's not about you, buddy. I love you. I always have. But some things happened, and the grown-ups didn't do the right thing. I miss Bella, he whispered. Me too, kiddo. I stayed up all night after that call, because as much as I wanted justice for Bella, I also wanted justice for Tommy. And for myself. And I wasn't done yet. 2 weeks after Tommy's heartbreaking phone call, Mike and Sarah served me with papers. They were suing me for intentional emotional distress, claiming I'd endangered their child's stability by suddenly withdrawing childcare and started a public smear campaign. They wanted $2,500 in damages. I actually laughed out loud. Then I handed the papers to my attorney, who said, this is going nowhere, but it's about scaring you. So I countersued. I filed for veterinary costs, emotional distress, and animal neglect, attaching all the photos, vet bills, animal control reports, and security footage showing Sarah entering my house and taking Bella. That's when I remembered something that would end this once and for all. When I first started babysitting Tommy, I'd set up a small security camera in the living room, just a basic nanny cam for safety. I'd forgotten about it until now. I went back through months of footage and found something devastating. About 6 months ago, Sarah had dropped Tommy off around 8 p.m. and asked to use our bathroom. She was in there for 10 minutes. When she came out, her eyes were red, her speech was slurred, and she was stumbling. The camera caught her taking pills from her purse, 2 tablets she swallowed dry when she thought no one was looking. She was high as a kite while dropping off her 7-year-old son. I gave that footage to Child Protective Services. 2 weeks later, they made a temporary removal. Tommy was placed with Sarah's sister in Eugene pending investigation results. Sarah blew up my phone with crying, screaming voicemails. She said I'd ruined her family, twisted everything. Mike called once. All he said was, you win. But it wasn't about winning. It was about finally being seen. About all those quiet weekends I gave, all the help I provided, all taken for granted. About how they acted like I was the problem when I asked for one simple favor in return. Bella made a full recovery. She's back to a healthy weight now, though she still flinches when doors slam and follows me from room to room to make sure I'm still there. Linda moved out 3 weeks after the trial. We filed for divorce. She tried to fight for half the house, but I had records showing I'd paid for almost everything. My attorney was ruthless. She walked away with less than she expected. I haven't spoken to her since, and I don't miss her. People always think revenge is loud and explosive. But the most powerful revenge I've ever felt is quiet and peaceful. It's walking Bella through Laurelhurst Park on Saturday mornings instead of watching someone else's kid for free. It's opening my own refrigerator without wondering if I have enough goldfish crackers for a picky child. It's sleeping in on Sundays. It's silence. Tommy's doing better with Sarah's sister. She sends me updates sometimes. He's enrolled in a new school and making friends. He still asks about me, and maybe one day I'll visit. But not yet. This chapter is closed. When people ask what finally made me cut ties with my own family, I tell them the truth. They laughed when I asked for help. Then they took my dog, starved her, and called me selfish. That's all it takes. They understand. And finally, so do I. Helping people doesn't mean you owe them forever. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. And trust, once it's broken, sometimes never comes back. And that's okay. Because now it's just me and Bella, and for the first time in years, that's more than enough.